Okay, so I wanted to go ahead and look at Ariana Grande's birth chart and see what we can find here. I just want to point out some observations as I just really like to get some practice with delineating birth charts and interpreting them as best as I can, and just kind of like going off of what I'm seeing, just straight off the bat. So and she just came out with her new album, so I just thought it was pretty fitting right now to do that. So let's go ahead and get started. She has Neptune and Uranus right on her ascendant. Neptune and Uranus on her ascendant. Okay, so I'm getting the fact that a lot of people are getting this image of her, that this persona that she puts out to the world is very changeable, and it's not always very clear. It's kind of always changing, fluxing and flowing. You have Neptune and Uranus, which are like these very changeable energies. Neptune gives her that sort of impression of illusion, of dreaminess, and she does have that very feminine aspect to her, this very softness about her, just from her, how she looks and the appearance that, or like the style that she puts out to the world to express herself. And then you have Uranus here, which can give her that unpredictability. She, just from like her social medias and stuff, like videos she posts and everything, she can be a little bit crazy, a little bit unpredictable, but like in a good way. I also know that Uranus and the first people, they like to be different and appear different just for the sake of, the shock factor, and they like to do the unexpected. They like to do what other people will least expect of them. They are very independent and just revolutionary, and they're gonna do whatever it takes to not be pinned down, or like not have their character or personality pinned down in any way, shape, or form. And I'm also seeing that, so this is really good. This is really nice. Venus or Neptune and Uranus in her first house are being supported in a very tight trine with her Venus in Taurus. And some people might argue, this is kind of subjective. No, it's not subjective, but this is the evidence that I'm seeing in front of me, based on some astrological observations here. Because Venus in trine to her Neptune and Uranus in the first house, and they're also in Earth signs, this does give her that gracefulness and that really refined quality to the way that she looks, the way that she appears, and she is very classy and very like tasteful in the way that she expresses herself. Like she does have that like beautiful like artistic quality in the way that she appears to the world, and I think that a lot of people can agree that she is very attractive. And there's like tons of Instagram accounts of just art dedicated to drawing her face, and like she is probably, I can probably see that she is a muse for a lot of people. Like she is the artist, but she's also the inspiration for other people's art, which is so fascinating to see in her chart, reflected in her chart as well. She has Venus in Taurus, which is a really easy and natural position for Venus to be in. It increases creativity and your sensuality and your overall, aesthetic. It just makes a person that much more attractive, and that they're very much in tune with their senses and like what feels good to them, as well as how what they use to make themselves appear beautiful or appear attractive, or they have a magnetic quality to them. Basically, Taurus attracts instead of going after what it wants. And let me see. So this trine from Venus to those first house planets conjunct to her ascendant is going to give her that really attractive quality, and it's going to plain and simply make somebody appear beautiful and have that very feminine quality to them. Let me see. So Venus, speaking of Venus, Venus is also in her fourth house, and we can say that she grew up in an environment in the childhood with parents who were very in a family and in a home, an upbringing that was very comfortable and very just full of love and full of support. And she had that upbringing that that made her feel loved and supported. And because it's in Taurus, we might see here financial stability and having her needs met very well. Anything that she needed as a child, it was always taken care for, and it was supplied in abundance. Let me see. She also has her Venus, however, opposite to her Pluto in the 10th house. Let me see. So from what I think this means that while she did have a very comfortable childhood and a very loving home life, this is being challenged to the control that she seeks to have over her professional life. And so she has this very intense desire and this intense drive to be at the top and to control her reputation and to just have this overall control and power over her professional life. And she might be very much heavily invested in success and in achievements. And so this challenges her Venus in the fourth house, which is all about her roots. It's about where she came from, and it's about her family life and her parents and like how she grew up. And she might feel torn between pursuing this really big and she might be torn between pursuing her career so intensely and so with such determination and drive that's that Pluto in the 10th house, but then she also feels so comfortable just chilling at home, being with her family and never forgetting her past. And then we also have her moon and Jupiter conjunct in Libra. Her moon and Jupiter conjunct in Libra in the 9th house. So, I want to say here, okay, so Jupiter is already in its home in the 9th house. So, she is somebody who is very philosophical and very much a big thinker when it comes to her beliefs. She's a very philosophical person, and she has her own very big and grand and open-mindedness about the world and about how she sees the world. She's very restless and very adventurous too, because where her heart is her heart lies where her beliefs are and her morals and her worldview of things. She is all about the bigger picture and it's all about expanding her mind. And how does she do that? In Libra ways. Her moon and Jupiter are in Libra in the 9th house. And so she does this. She might do this through relationships. She might do this through listening to other people and getting other people's perspectives. Libra is a sign of other people, and it's about relationships. And so she might try to pursue, or she might try to pursue learning about other people's beliefs and morals, and expanding her own mind and intellect through her relationships, or just through simply learning from other people and being open-minded and being not closing herself off to what other people have to say. She's very accommodating when it comes to hearing other people's perspectives. And also, her moon and Jupiter conjunct here is going to further expand on that. It's really going to make her very receptive, and have and her heart is going to be very open to the collective and what other people have to say. Like, okay, and so she has Moon and Jupiter in Libra conjunct, and it's also squared to her Sun in the 6th house. So her Sun is in Cancer in the 6th house, and so this can give her a her identity is basically wrapped around the idea of caring for other people, and she does this on a daily basis, because the Sun is in her 6th house. It's the house of work. It's a house of daily routine, about daily responsibilities, and about service to other people. And so how does she serve other people? Through caring for them, and through protecting them, and defending them when they need help, and when they need assurance, when they need somebody to protect them, and to act like their mom. She can be that mom friend, or she really finds fulfillment for herself when she's out there caring for other people and acting as that caretaker. But then this conflicts with her need, or her very basic need to just expand. Her moon is in the 9th house, and so, like I said, she's very, very restless, and very much her heart is where the world is, and it doesn't stay in one place. Like, it needs to roam free, and it needs to be wandering. She has a wandering heart, and Jupiter there too is going to just pronounce that even further. So her needs to be out there where the whole world is, it's conflicting with her ego, and her ego's self-expression in dealing with like everyday daily routine type of things. So where she likes to express her identity is through daily work and through daily responsibilities. But then, her heart wants to be out there in the world exploring. So that's where she can suffer from, some inner conflict. It's going to be very hard for her. This is like almost an exact square that she has between her Sun and Moon. All right. And then let's also see, she also has Saturn in Pisces at 0 degrees retrograde in the 2nd house. So Saturn, okay, let's take this piece by piece. Saturn in the 2nd house, you can have trouble with really feeling good about yourself. Feeling good about your own self-esteem. It rules your self-esteem and how much you value yourself. And what you value in yourself, and what you need to feel secure and stable. And it also rules your possessions. So Saturn here Saturn has a drying up effect in wherever the area of your chart it's inside. So and it can add like this depressive, heavy, weighted feeling to that area. So in this case, it's in her 2nd house, so she may probably sometimes feel a lack in, valuing herself, in the things that she needs to feel good and and feel secure. So she might sometimes suffer in the area of just like never feeling like she has enough, never feeling she has enough, to feel secure, and there's always that fear, that dread about not being secure. And it's also at 0 degrees, that's a critical degree in whatever sign. If a planet is at that critical degree of 0 or 29 degrees of any sign, is going to be really, really important. And so in this case, Saturn is at 0 degrees Pisces. So maybe in her case, her possessions or her finances would kind of just come and go. It'll be always moving, always fluxing and flowing, and it's like it was never stable for her. There may have been a changeability to there may have been a changeability to how secure she felt at times, and maybe her self-esteem would just kind of like go up and down constantly because it's in Pisces, so it'll have that watery, unstable quality to it. And with Saturn here, she's going to need to learn the lessons of learning stability and maintaining a routine and maintaining a steady pattern in how she handles her possessions and how she handles like her finances. And it's like because Saturn here can just be so like up and down, like I said, changeable, and she can suffer from illusions when it comes to how she values herself. Like she might trick herself into believing lies when it comes to like her self-worth and how she values herself. And so it's going to be hard for her in that area. Like she's going to need to find some stability and in how she sees herself and her self-worth. Let me see. Okay, so her Mercury is in the 7th house in Cancer. What she needs to, or what the type of partner that she'll feel most fulfilled by and that she does well with in a relationship is somebody who she can have a mental connection with. And not just any kind of mental connection, but is going to have to be someone that can almost like read her mind. We have it in Cancer here, so there's almost going to be that telepathic communication she's going to need with a partner, and someone who can easily like intuit her thoughts and intuit her needs and her feelings. It's not just going to be like purely intellect or purely cerebral in the connection that she needs with somebody. Like it also has to have heart to it, heart and soul, and it has to be somebody that will defend her and who will also, protect her, and that she can also protect. The Mercury here can also indicate multiple marriages. I know that her parents were divorced, and I don't know, maybe this might have something to do with like this, the manifestation of it in her birth chart. Like I've heard through multiple sources that like Mercury here, especially if Venus is in the 7th house with Mercury, that's not her case right now, but she just has Mercury in the 7th house. But this usually indicates multiple marriages, like at least more than one, definitely. Okay, I want to go back to and touch on her Sun in the 6th house, trine to her Saturn. Trine to her Saturn in the 2nd house. So while she may have had troubles with her, self-worth, self-esteem, how she values herself, something that could really help her in the long run is remembering her ego, remembering her identity, and finding that self-worth and that self-value through helping other people. that's where she's gonna find it. Like, she might find um herself, revitalized and realigned with her soul's purpose by following that sun. Where's that sun? The sun is in her sixth house, and so she might find that her finances and her self-worth are uplifted and supported when she follows those sixth house things, those sixth house issues of serving other people, because that's where her identity lies. And so she might be able to find an outlet for these harsh Saturn and Pisces issues in the second house. She might be able to find herself, or find that self-worth when she is helping other people and when she is establishing a healthy routine and getting in touch with her daily responsibilities. Okay, I'm seeing two T squares in her chart, but they're very loose. They're not at very tight orbs, so I'm probably not going to touch too much on that because it's not going to be super pronounced in her personality, since these T squares are really not that close in orb, to be honest. But I am going to talk about her Mars in the 8th house. So her Mars in the 8th house in Virgo. She is very much heavily invested in learning about other people. And when she enters into a partnership with someone, she really expects to know a lot about them. She really wants to learn as much as she can about them. And how is she going to do that? Things might turn physical really quickly with her because she has Mars in the 8th house. Mars is going to speed up the action, and it's going to take initiative, and it's in the 8th house of intimacy. And so she really is going to be very much interested in learning about her partner through physicality. And it's also in Virgo, so that's going to make it even more pronounced, and it's going to increase that sensuality, and it's going to make her very much interested and invested in learning as much as she can about the partner, and not just physically, but through also the intellect. She's really going to find out a lot about the partner when she communicates with them, and really digs into when she really analyzes their mind. And her Mars is also opposite Saturn. So this might make her a little bit of a control freak when it comes to intimacy, and she's gonna want to have the upper hand. She might like partners who do challenge her in that area of intimacy, and or maybe who can teach her new things in that area. All right. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I think there's still so much interesting stuff here to look at, honestly. But I think that's about it that I'm going to talk about here for her chart. Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting connections that I can find here, and just a little bit that I know about her life. You can really see it here, all the connections that I've been making here, it just all makes sense, from one thing leading to another. All right, so there you go.